Happy Chinese New Year, everyone. I thought, what better way to celebrate than to make my favourite pot-sticker dumplings, or they're also called water on some menus. These are basically dumplings that are pan-fried and then steamed, and sometimes they stick to the bottom of the pan, hence the name Potstickers. They're actually much easier to make than you think, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to start off with making a little pork dumpling, then afterwards I'm going to show you a little prawn one. So in a bowl I've just got some pork mince, and we're just going to add some really fresh flavours. So to that I'm going to add some grated ginger, or finely chopped will work fine. That goes in. I'm going to add some finely chopped garlic straight into the bowl, some spring onions, a little bit of sliced red chilli, that goes in. Then I'm using some Chinese cabbage. This just sort of helps bulk it out and also adds a nice sweetness to the dish. So that goes straight in. And that goes in raw, don't worry, because the steam from cooking them is going to cook that cabbage. So I'm going to go in with some seasoning now. So I'm going to go in some dark soy sauce, add that in. I'm going to add some sriracha. It might not be traditional, but I love the heat and the sharpness you get from it. So that's going to go straight in. And a little bit of fresh coriander that I finely chopped. So I'm just going to mix that all together. You want to make sure everything's really combined and the pork mince is really sort of broken down so it can absorb all those flavours we've just added. So now we're ready to fill our dumplings, and to make the dough it's super easy. It's just hot water and flour, or if you're in a hurry or you've been working all day at the restaurant like I have, I've cheated and I've bought some store-bought wrappers. And when I start filling, I always like to just keep them between 2 damp bits of kitchen paper, because I'm not very fast at this part, and if you left them out, they dry up and you'd have an absolute nightmare. So when it comes to filling these and pleating them, there are many different ways to pleat, and in my personal opinion, they're all as difficult as each other. So you can kind of improvise here and get creative and do whatever pleat you like. Treat it like a ravioli, treat it like a Cornish pasty. Whatever you do, just make sure it's sealed nice and tight, and you can do that with a little bit of water around the rim. I'm going to show you a ravioli style, the way we fill ravioli now. Again, the key here is not to add too much filling. The more you add, it's just going to be super difficult to seal it. Don't be greedy. Just a really, really small amount. I'm going to fold it right over and just seal it like a ravioli. Not very traditional, but it works well in an Italian household. I've just finished the pork dumplings. I just kept them in the fridge in a piece of greaseproof, covered with another damp piece of kitchen towel so they don't dry out. Now I'm going to move on to our prawn. So here I've got some lovely king prawns, fresh ones, that I've just deveined, taken the shell off and the tail. I'm going to put them straight into a blender because I want to create almost like a smooth kind of paste. So it'll be a really nice silky texture when you're eating these dumplings. So they're going to go straight in. And to that I'm going to add some sweet chilli. This is just going to help add a little bit of sweetness, but you could just use some fresh chilli and a little bit of caster sugar. So that goes straight in. Some fresh garlic, and then I'm going to add some more spring onion and a little bit of coriander. And just give that a couple of pulses until we get a nice smooth paste. I don't want to blend it till it tends to suit those. We're just going to pulse. So now ready to fill our little prawn dumplings. So the same process again. Wet it and wrap it any way you can, as long as it's completely sealed. I've abandoned the chopsticks. Cross-contamination, don't mix pork and prawn. So with the same as before, I'm just folding it over, praying for the best and sealing away. So I've sorted through all my dumplings and I've hid the ugly ones away, and I've kept the best ones that my sister helped me do. And now we're ready to start cooking them. So in a pan on a high heat, I've got a little bit of oil, something really neutral like sunflower or veg oil, or even sesame oil if you want, but that's got quite a strong flavour. We're that nice and hot, and I'm going to put them down so the bottom touches the pan. So the oil's hot, so I'm ready to add my dumplings. I'm going to put them on the bottom like that. And the best way now to do it is to sort of create a clock face in the pan, so you know which ones you put in first. So starting at 12 o'clock, work your way around the pan. So I'm just going to leave these in the pan. I'm not going to touch them at all until they get a nice colour on the base. So just to show you now what they look like in the bottom, they've got a lovely golden colour. So now we're ready to add our water. Turn the heat down, be really careful and have a lid or a plate big enough ready to cover the pan. So carefully, water goes in and the lid goes straight on. I'm going to leave those to steam now for about 6 to 8 minutes. So these have been on for 7 minutes and you know they're ready when all the water's evaporated. So really carefully I'm going to take my lid off. They smell amazing. I'm going to put them onto my serving plate with my chopsticks really carefully because everything's super hot now. So you can see they're lovely and crispy on the bottom and super light and fluffy on top. And I've just got a lovely little vinegar dip here. I've just mixed some soy with some rice vinegar, some fresh ginger, garlic, and a little bit of chili. And these are ready to serve. Mmm! You can just see how gorgeous that golden colour looks in the bottom of them, with the super light on top. That's what we're looking for. And any of the ones that didn't really make the cut, like I said before, I am not professional, so there's a few ugly ones I couldn't quite pan fry. So they went into a steamer basket and they're the chef's snack. They'll still taste just as amazing. Thanks for watching guys and happy Chinese New Year.